What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. Getting down with Fresh Out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the channel, and go to freshoutseries.com and wash your ass. Pick you up a bar of soap. I'm here with the homie Daniel, and we kicking some game, man, and sharing some dialogue. And Daniel, one of the things I wanted to ask you, man, you know, with the gang culture and how things affect you as you get older and kind of like go through different phases. One of the things I had discussed with Big Ant was like, how in like black gangs, it appears that once you get to a certain age, you kind of age out of the gang. You can kind of like consider yourself, going into retirement. You don't really have to be bothered with the politics. But it seems like in the Latino culture, you're always somehow tied to your neighborhood in that sense, or your community, which I see the value difference in that, where in that community they hold a strong bond, so it seems like the men are in the community are held to a different standard. And then also in the way things are going now, as opposed to how they were in the 80s, 90s, and even the early 2000s, how do you see the gang culture in the next 15 to 20 years? Will it still exist, or do you feel like it's kind of like going in a different direction?
That's a good question, but it's also I'm gonna be honest. It's a difficult question to answer without sounding like, I don't know if it would be not trying to sound or being boastful about my ethnicity,
Mm-hmm.
or being like I'm saying that another group of people aren't structured like us. But and you could give me your 2 cents on it too. I think that our people are really are strict on our structure, on our what you would call a routine. And we'll just say, for instance, when you're busted, discipline is always at the forefront. You're gonna get disciplined. There's no time for leniency. Any crack in that fabric is gonna through weather and amount of time, it's gonna get bigger. So you gotta replace that. You gotta replace that with another thread, another person, another homie. You can't have no weak warriors out there. Mm-hmm. And not saying that we, in between blacks and browns, that blacks are weaker than Mexicans. We both have almost the same amount of homeboys. But I think that when it comes to being structured and disciplined, I think I'm not gonna say my people, but the raza, we discipline at the forefront, where it's like, I don't give a shit if you're my family member. You need discipline, you're gonna be disciplined. Where I've seen a lot of and this is just my personal thing, where I've seen a lot of so-called brothers, and they'll be like, don't forget about it, fuck them, or whatever, and that's just from personal experience. I can't say that for everybody, and mm-hmm. I'm not trying to put blacks down in that mm-hmm. sense, but it's just, I think that it's been like, hey homie, you wanna do your thing, but with us, it's like, damn, you can't do your thing. You've already been. Your expectations are always gonna be up there. It doesn't matter how fucking old you are. If you sold dope, you're gonna be considered. You're gonna be keep selling. They're gonna think you're selling dope, for forever or whatever. Or you're involved in some part of the game. Or hey, we need more homies over here. Hey, nah, but I was gonna do this. Like, nah, fuck that. Like, not this. You got into the neighborhood. You remember you got into the neighborhood? Like, you better be at that meeting. It's like there is no, unless somebody's fucking on their deathbed, maybe, you might, but when you're called to duty, you're called to duty, and that's just from my experience. Even the older homies that I have now, in their 70s, they're still out there, messing around. It's crazy, homie.
Yeah.
They'll pull up in the car like, hey, homie, you know where I could get this? Hey, you know who wants to buy this? And it's like, dang, homie, you still doing that? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
So, I don't know, bro. I mean, from your experience, what could you say?
I would have to agree, man, to a degree as far as like, when you talk about like meetings and having, discipline. I remember when I was growing up and I wanted to like kind of like create this unity among the homies. I'm like, okay, we're gonna meet at the homie's house over at this time and do this and that. And two dudes show up, one dude wouldn't show up. We're gonna go work out. These dudes wouldn't want to go work out. Oh man, it's like I look like this. It's not. It wasn't the uniformity, and like it was like. It wasn't like whatever. It wasn't like a military mindset. And I think I had more of a military mindset because I lived on a military base, and I remember going to school in the morning and I would see Marines jogging in formation. You know what I mean? So I started working out when I was like, I first started messing with weights when I was probably 13, 14. Little cement weights and going to the gym, working out around Marines and Navy dudes. So I had a different mindset. So I always looked at things like where I would almost obsess over them. I'm gonna do this. Come on, man, we got to do it every day. We didn't just do it 2 days. Hey, what are you talking about? Oh, today I don't want to. Nah, man. So once I started seeing that, I'm like, dude, this ain't the same thing I thought it was. So I kind of backed up, even though I seen that like a lot of dudes, they weren't as disciplined as me. I was always disciplined. If I go to a party, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing that. I'm watching the door. I'm watching everybody. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it all the way. But not everybody thought like that. So I kind of like initially bought into something and realized it really wasn't what I was buying into. But I fully understand because then I got like some other homies who are Latino and they get down totally different. You know what I mean? And it's like when I hang out with them, it was like I said, like you knew it was just a different program. Mm-hmm. We got out, it was a different program. So it is a difference, and I can kind of like understand that because it's like going into like or the Marines or the Army. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Once a Navy SEAL, always a Navy SEAL. There's a almost like I guess a sense of camaraderie among your peers. You can go to an old bar and it's like, oh, that's old Sergeant so-and-so. I remember back in the day, he's still, even though he's not active, but he's still, he could be about the business if he needs to be.
Yeah.
Which is different. And it kind of, to me, in a sense, helps regulate the community, keep people more on point to where you can kind of like, because when you don't have like certain OGs or certain people kind of like still showing some faith, the young people can lose a sense where, oh man, I ain't got to do that no more. But when they see that, it's a reflection of themselves. Like, oh, I know I got to. If OG's doing like this, he's still kind of keeping point. That I know that if I get involved in this shit's for real. Because he's still like, damn, he's still in the business. So I know I got to watch how I carry myself. And a lot of times, a lot of people, especially young people, and even if it wasn't in the gang, they just don't know how to carry themselves in general. Because they don't have nobody older to see that structure with. The structure died off because their daddy's gone. They got a wild baby mama, got 2 or 3 different stepdads. They don't know. They have no structure.
Right.
So that makes a difference in everything, whether you're in the streets, whether you're in the military, whether you're in athletics. But like that sense of having a sense of self, I think, is one of the differences I see in the community, man. Because like I said, I was talking with somebody earlier, and especially in the black community, if it's not a racial thing, ain't nobody saying that. But man, all day long, dudes is like jumping on each other, and it's like ain't nobody saying nothing. Y'all was ready to protest over here about this shit. But then it's like 5 brothers killed it. Like the tyrant, you killed 5 dudes, jump on this dude. Ain't nobody. Everybody's cool with it. So it's like we got a lot of. I say, the black community has more cleaning up to do than the Hispanic community in the degree as far as how we conduct ourselves with each other. Mm. You guys have blacks I know probably can't, but you guys have a sense of like checking the basket better than we do. Mm. Where the blacks, they need to do more of that to where once you do that, everything else kind of falls in line because the respect outside of that comes more. Mm. The more people see you respect yourself and how you carry it, like you said, just with the OGs or just with the community and not letting people get local community stores and safe and this, and we ain't got no random bullshit shootings and nothing like that. That's a certain level of integrity. Mm-hmm. And you need that, whether you're Hispanic or black. But a lot of, I think, I think especially in the black community, they've gotten away from that, man. And they don't have that OG respect, man.
Right.
You know, which is different in your community. The OG, like somebody do something, like dude's gonna come and knock at your door.
Yeah.
Hey, homie, come outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the dude doing something over here. He's like, oh man, what them? The hell with them? You know, it's like you don't care, so you just think, oh, I can do it. It ain't nothing gonna happen.
Yep.
You got to know something's gonna happen.
Yep.
It might not be the police, but it might be the big homie. Oh man, I heard about you. Oh, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Oh man, no, you was doing that. You was part of, homie. We got to come holler. Come, the homie want to talk to you.
Yep.
You know that right there. Oh man, it kind of makes you think twice. You're not gonna be on the news running the Apple store.
Right.
You're running over here doing this bullshit. You know what I mean? You're gonna think a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because when you come back afterwards, somebody's gonna call you.
Yep.
And that's the sense that, you know, I think that, you know, if you are in that life, you got to realize that, and a lot of kids, they don't. That's why they do shit. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing.
Yep. And I think it's only like, just to be real blunt and honest with you, I think we're going to shit, bro. Like, to be honest, I don't see it getting any better. Really, I think we have to save. We're not gonna save all the youth, so you got to save who you can, bro. Yeah. And whoever it's meant for to be along in that ride, get in the car. Hey, whoever's willing to listen and you know, learn some structure, get them in the car, as many as you could fit, because it's been watered down. The game is watered down. Homies killing each other over shit they don't know about. Now everybody's videotaping each other with a strap and kicking over candles and shit. That fool he passed away already. He's gone. How much of a man are you to kick over somebody's candles? You know, everybody's filming each other, like doing some dumb shit, if not the murder, or talking about the shit that they did. Yeah, giving it up.
No, I totally agree. It's going to hell fast, and you know, when you share stuff to people and they're like, oh man, you know, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, you're supposed to evolve, and I'm trying to tell you from perspective, like, don't think because like maybe, you know, the conversation or the temperament, because I'm not hooting and hollering and wop, that I'm not who I say I am. Mm-hmm. I just ain't gonna be, dude. I ran across. I did, you know, some shit, but I don't like to brag about it. But it's not like you guys think that you see these loud dudes, and those ain't the ones. It's like you said, the shot callers I knew were quiet, little dudes. Mm-hmm. Dude, 5'4", tatted up, quiet. You do burpees all day, just quiet, but bust your, you know, put some shit. It ain't the dude. Oh man, yeah, I was raising, doing. You ain't, dude. That's not the one. I had never seen nobody who was making moves raise their hand. They quiet. Mm-hmm. He's moving shit that you don't even know is being moved. Mm-hmm. You know, so people get the game. It's like the loud, boisterous one is not the one, man. And you know, until these youngsters, I don't know if they get their fathers in their life or whatever, and maybe the next generation, if there's a good father, that can change it. But the lack of male role models, man, is the destruction of all these cats, man, because they don't have it. Like you said, they didn't have no grandpa. I had a grandpa too. Mm-hmm. My grandpa was a quiet dude. He didn't look at you, man. Mm-hmm. You knew, oh, grandpa's home, clean up the house. Mm-hmm. You know, you didn't mess grandma. Never talk back, never raise your voice. Grandma. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a level of respect. That respect is gone, and like you said, unless somehow that comes back, and I don't know how you get it back, it's going to shit, man.
Yep.
So. Hey, there you have it. Big Herc 916 getting out with Daniel. I'm fresh out. You tired of smelling like stanky butt, funky armpits? Wash your ass. Go to FreshOutSeries.com and pick you up a bar of soap.